Hello everyone, Trophy Wine Hunter. Welcome back to my Alsace wine journey, where today we're going to reacquaint ourselves with the wines of Gustave Lorentz. I've done a previous review on this channel on his Riesling, so I'm looking forward to getting reacquainted with his wines. So if you look at my review of Gustave Lorentz's Riesling, which I will put at the end of this video, you get a bit more about the history. The Lorentz family has been making wines in Bergheim since 1836. They have about 35 hectares of vineyards, and they buy some of their wines from other wine growers. They're very proud of their Grand Cru vineyards at Altenberg, Bergheim, and Kanzlerberg, which we were tasting. And pictured here is George Lorentz, who now runs the winery. The first wine we're going to taste is their 2017 Riesling from the Grand Cru vineyard of Kanzlerberg. The average age of the vines is 35 years. Kanzlerberg is a very small Grand Cru vineyard or region. In fact, the smallest in Alsace, only about 3¼ acres. Mostly clay and limestone soil, but with some gray and black gypsum and some marl. Next wine is from their 2016 vintage. It is another Riesling from their other Grand Cru vineyard in Altenberg, Bergheim. Again, the soil is fairly similar. It's clay and limestone. So just a different vineyard in a different year. So it'll be interesting to compare and contrast these two Rieslings. Another interesting wine for comparison purposes. This is also coming from their Grand Cru vineyard of Altenberg, Bergheim, but it's a Gewürztraminer and from the 2012 vintage, so a little bit more age on the wine. One thing I did forget to mention was the wine from Altenberg de Bergheim, the Riesling. That's really their signature wine and basically their flagship wine. So the last wine we're going to taste is a Pinot Noir from the 2015 vintage called La Limite, which comes from a place called Frone, which is situated between Bergheim village and the lower limit of the Grand Cru region of Altenberg de Bergheim. Let's get to the tasting of the wines. We're going to start with their 2017 Riesling from the Grand Cru vineyard of Kanzlerberg. Interesting to taste these wines against the regular Riesling that I reviewed on this channel. On the smell, light aroma. Up front you get a little bit of citrusy notes, but at the back end you get a little bit of petroleum. And some, oiliness. Mostly citrus, grapefruit, lime elements to this. Good aftertaste. I'm still feeling it in my mouth. Vibrant. I would say the fruit is vibrant. Light bodied, medium acidity. I'm going to give this 88 points. Then we're going to go to their Grand Cru Riesling 2016 from the Grand Cru vineyard of Altenberg de Bergheim. This is old vines, Millesimes. So let's taste with the last Riesling and see if there's similarities or differences. This one's a little bit more, not as citrusy, more flinty and stony and minerally. Still has a little bit of petrol at the end of it. And some white flowers. Yeah. A little bit more depth, a little bit more, it's a nice acidity, citrus notes, but not as much lime and grapefruit. More honey elements, apricots. I like this a little bit better. I'm going to rate this 89 points. Now we're going to go to the Gewürztraminer. This is a 2012, and it's from the same Grand Cru vineyard, Altenberg de Bergheim, as the last Riesling that we had. Very nice aroma, very pleasant, lighter than some of the other Gewürz I've had, but very perfumed, like roses, honey, lychee, very nice and light and delicate. The taste, not that acidic, good body, medium body, good weight on the mouth. I would say has some floral elements, peach, light pear, not as much citrusy elements, a little bit honeysuckle, nice and light, a little bit lighter and not as much intensity of some of the other Gewürz I've had. I'm going to go with 88 points on this. And then the final wine I'm going to taste from their selection is going to be their Pinot Noir, and it's from La Limite. So good aroma, very intense aroma of plums, nutmeg, spice, cinnamon, little peppery notes. Really quite neat, the aroma. And as I'm getting used to drinking Alsace Pinots, I'm enjoying their fragrance a little bit more. Good balance on this wine. Good tannin structure, firm tannins, good aftertaste, lots of fruit, black plums, black cherries, strawberries, even a little cranberry. I like this wine actually. I think it's very well balanced. Doesn't have as much astringency as some of the other Pinots that I've tasted from Alsace. I'm going to give this 89 points. Final thoughts of my tasting of Gustave Lorentz. I was familiar with this winery before, drank their wines before. I think they're a good quality producer, probably a mid-level producer. Their wines are very drinkable and very pleasing. So I'm very happy to kind of taste through their quality. What does stand out is on their Riesling, it does appear that they have a little bit more petrol than I've seen on other wineries' Rieslings, and their fragrance is a little bit more delicate than some of the other ones that I've tasted. But all in all, great tasting, and I've enjoyed it. Until next time, happy drinking.